audience.
Oh, good morning.
Beep, 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 beep. Most of you have heard that annoying sound when you get in your vehicle and you have not put your seatbelt on. That annoying sound could save your life. 10 years ago, I was involved in a car accident where I T-boned a truck, a Cox Cable truck company, that he did not yield, and I completely T-boned him and was taken to the emergency room in an ambulance, and I was injured. Luckily, I did have my seatbelt on, and the doctor described that if I had not had my seatbelt on, going the rate of speed, I would have been thrown from the vehicle and could have seriously been injured or killed. Motor vehicle crashes are the #1 leading cause of death in the ages from 5 to 34 in the United States. I was shocked at that number because you typically think of illness or disease. You won't think of a car accident being the way to die between the ages of 5 and 34. More than 2.3 million adult drivers and passengers were treated in their emergency rooms in 2009 due to vehicle car accidents. And here are just a few pictures of car accidents here. And one thing you have to remember, to wear the seatbelt, you're saving your own life. And you think, well, you're a good driver, you don't have to wear your seatbelt, you're going right down the street. Going to 7-Eleven, you don't have to wear your seatbelt. You also have to worry about other vehicles hitting you. You might be the best driver, but you don't know if there's a teenager on the road that's only been driving for 2 years, or someone elderly that has been driving for 50 that aren't the best drivers. And then when using your seatbelt, you can reduce the risk of death from drivers and also your front passenger drivers by 45% and reduce the injury rate by 50%. So if you just wear your seatbelt, that's 50% chance that you're not going to get injured as much as without your seatbelt. And seatbelts saved more than 75,000 lives in 2004 between 2008. And if people in the United States in every state wore their seatbelt at least 90% of the time, then 16,000 additional lives would be saved and 22,000 additional injuries as well. So that would be 16,000 funerals that a mother or father would not have to plan for their kid, just if they actually wore their seatbelt. And it's as simple as something pulling across the strap, across your chest, and strapping it in. It's that simple. That's something that can save your life. And it's also the most effective form of protection in the vehicle is your seatbelt. A lot of people think it may be the airbag, but it is not. It's actually your seatbelt. And the biggest offenders that do not wear their seatbelt are teenagers, males, African Americans, truck drivers, whether it's pickup drivers or big rig truck drivers as well. And then also, if you're driving by yourself, you're more apt not to wear your seatbelt. Whereas if you have a passenger, you're more likely to put your seatbelt on, whether you don't want them to judge you or you feel, let me be safe because I have a passenger. And then also people at nighttime typically don't put their seatbelt on. And then if you've been drinking, bad judgment, then you also don't put your seatbelt on. And they don't overestimate your driving ability. Not wearing your seatbelt is one of the biggest mistakes you can make while driving in your vehicle. Even if you're in the back seat, put your seatbelt on. One rule that I had when I first got my car at 16 was, if you're in my car, you have to wear your seatbelt. And I remember teenagers, oh come on, I'm not putting mine on. My parents are in the car. That was my rule. If you're in my car, you got to put a seatbelt on. And wearing your seatbelt in most states, it's the law now. And 49 states in the District of Columbia have mandatory seat safety laws. The only state that does not is New Hampshire. And there's two different types of law. You have the primary enforcement law and the secondary enforcement law. 31 states plus DC has the primary enforcement law, so that means they can pull you over and give you a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. They don't have to have a reason for it at all. And 88% of drivers wear their seatbelt in these states. Whereas for secondary law, only 18 states have this. In order to get pulled over, you have to have a tail light out or be speeding, and then you can get a ticket for a seatbelt law. And with that, it's 75% of usage. So just think if the United States went for all states on the primary, you would go from 75% to 88% wearing the seatbelt. Virginia is actually a secondary law, so you can't get pulled over and get a ticket unless your taillight's out or you're speeding for another reason. And also, parents, wear your seatbelt, make it a positive thing to have the kids wear their seatbelt, and then also with the seatbelt, make sure in the proper booster seats. You have the infant seat, the booster seat, and then the toddler seat. So just make sure you're wearing your seatbelt because it can truly save your life.